is Sridevi, Assistant Professor, Department of ISC HJBIT.
Let us take a look at the 11th program in the Data Structures Laboratory. The objective of this program is to implement the operations on graph. We need to create a graph of n cities using adjacency matrix. We need to print all the nodes which are reachable from a given starting node in the digraph using BFS method. And the third is to check whether a given graph is connected or not using DFS method. Firstly, what is a graph? A graph is a collection of vertices and edges. So we can look at this particular graph as an example. So we can see it has a collection of vertices and it has a collection of edges which connect these particular vertices. Our objective is to first create a graph using an adjacency matrix. An adjacency matrix looks like this. If there is an edge between any two vertices, it is represented with a 1. If there is no edge, it is represented with a 0. Let us look at this particular example. Since there are 4 vertices, it is going to be a 4 by 4 matrix. So there is no edge from 0 to 0 as you can see here. So the value here is going to be 0. There is an edge from 0 to 1. So the value is 1. From 0 to 2 there is no edge. So the value is 0. 0 to 3 there is an edge. So the value is 1. So the entry is going to be 1 when there is an edge in between two vertices, and it is going to be 0 if there is no edge between the vertices. Since it is an undirected graph, the edge 2, 3 also represents the edge 3, 2. So we can see the entry for 3, 2 is also going to be 1, and the entry for 2, 3 is also going to be 1. Whereas in case of a directed graph, the edges are directed in this format. The edge 0, 1 does not represent the edge 1, 0. They are two different edges. As you can see, there is an edge from 0 to 1, so it is represented as 1, but there is no edge from 1 to 0, so that value is represented with a 0. This is how we are going to represent a graph using an adjacency matrix. Go for the first objective. So the first objective was to create a graph of n cities using an adjacency matrix. So we are going to use a matrix. We are declaring a matrix and we are going to enter 0 when there is no edge and enter 1 when there is an edge. Coming for the next objective, we are supposed to visit all the nodes and check which nodes are reachable using BFS method. So first of all, what is BFS method? BFS stands for breadth first search. Breadth first indicates that we are going to visit the nodes breadth wise. That is, let us say this is our source node, and for this node we are going to do a BFS operation. BFS first visits all the nodes which are immediately neighbor to the source node. In this case, the nodes A, B and C are the nodes which are immediate neighbors and can be visited with a single jump. So the BFS starts by visiting the node A first, then node B and then node C. Once all the neighboring nodes are done, it is going to go and visit the next level neighbors. So it is going to start from this order. The first one which got visited was 1. So from here you are going to visit all the nodes which can be visited with a single jump. So as you can see, there is only one node that can be visited, that is D, and once that is done, there are no other nodes that can be visited from A. Now it is going to go for the next one, that is B. From B it will visit all the nodes that can be reached from B, that is only E. From C I am going to go for F. Now all this level is all the nodes in this level is done. Now it is going to go for the next level, and the only thing left is G, so which is going to be visited through D. In order to do this operation, BFS is going to use a queue in order to keep track of which nodes to be taken up in order to visit the nodes. So let us look at the rules in order to follow in order to do our BFS operation. The rule 1 is visit adjacent unvisited vertex. So the nodes which are already visited should not be visited again. Once you visit a node, we are going to mark it as visited. We are going to display it onto the screen and insert it into the queue. In this case, once S is done, so you are going to visit A, B and then C. So in that order you are going to enter the data into the queue. Second rule is, if no adjacent vertex is found, remove the first vertex from the queue. So that is, S would have been the first, that is removed. We are going to repeat this rule 1 and rule 2 until the queue is empty. So we have found all the vertices that can be visited from S and entered into the queue. Now we are going to take the next element A. From A, what are the elements that can be visited? What are the nodes that can be visited? From A we visit D and there are no other nodes. A will be removed. We will look at what are the nodes that can be visited from B. From B I can visit E, that you are going to insert into Q, and remove B from the queue, since there are no other nodes which can be visited from B directly. Next vertex to be considered is C. From C we will look at what are the nodes that can be visited. We can visit only F. F is inserted into the queue. No other nodes can be visited from C. It is to be removed from the queue. We will look at D. From D we will see what other nodes can be visited. We can visit G. G is inserted into the queue and D is removed since we don't have any other adjacent nodes to D. When we come to E, we will look at what are the adjacent nodes. You can see that G is the next node, but G is already visited, so there are no other new nodes to be visited from E. We will delete from Q. This is repeated until the queue is empty. This is how we are going to implement the BFS for your graph. Next operation is DFS. So in case of your DFS, the traversal happens to depth-wise, that is, so it is going to visit all the nodes that can be reached depth-wise. Now in case of DFS, if you want to do DFS, we are going to start with S. It will go depth-wise, that is the longest route it is going to take up, and it will visit all the nodes in the path. So starting from S, it will first visit A. From A it will go to the next level D. From D it will go to next level G. From G it will go to E. From E it will go to B. When it looks from B, the only node that it can reach is S, which is already visited, so it will go back one level. From E I cannot go anywhere else, so come back to G. From G we will look at any new node that can be visited. So the next new node that can be visited is F. From F it will go and visit C. So this is how depth first search will work. It is going to traverse the graph in depth wise. Let us take a look at our program. So let us assume this is the graph for which I want to do the operations. So in order to represent it in the format of an adjacency matrix, we are using your create function. So let us just start with the main, wherein we are giving some of the options. So create BFS, check graph is connected or not by using DFS. So depending on the operation that you want to do, we will choose what needs to be done. So first of all we need to create a graph, so we will be using the choice 1. Go for your create function. So when you look at the create function, so we are just going to start with the number of vertices. So it is asking us to enter the number of vertices. So once you enter, so in this case we have 8 vertices for our graph. Next we are going to enter the adjacency matrix. So adjacency matrix will be 8 by 8 because we have 8 vertices. So depending on the number of nodes, so we have to create a matrix of that particular size. Starting with your for loop, so for I equal to 1 and j is 1 is less than n, so less than or equal to n in this case is 8, so 1 is less than or equal to 8 condition is true. J is also initialized to 1, so I is 1, j is also 1. Now 1 is less than or equal to n, that is 8, again the condition is true. We have to enter the value 1 or 0 depending on the edge. Now from 1 to 1, as you can see there is no edge from 1 to 1, so we are going to enter the value as 0. So we will first write the graph and then try to enter the adjacency matrix. Since we have not visited any of the nodes, we are using 2 arrays, one for BFS and one for DFS. Visited of I, that is visited of node 1, we are making it as 0. Visited of node 1, again we are making it as 0. 2 different arrays because we will be doing one BFS and one DFS operation. Continue with your for loop. So j gets incremented to 2 since we are still within the inner loop. Now scanf, it is going to ask you to enter the next value, that is for the position 1 2. So when you look at 1 2, so this is 1 and this will be your 2. So from 1 to 2 we have an edge here, as you can see. So I need to enter the value as 1. So we are going to do this for all the values. From 1 to 3 you have an edge, 1 to 4 we have an edge, 1 to 5 we don't have an edge, 1 to 6 no edge, 1 to 7 no edge, 1 to 8 no edge. From 2 we have edges only to 5 and 6. So from 2 I am going to write only for 5 and 6, rest of them are all 0. From 3 we have an edge only to the 7, so rest of them we have 0. From 4 there are no edges at all which goes out from 4, so all of them are going to be a 0. From 5 there is an edge to 6, so 6 is here, so other than that all the other things will be 0. From 6 there are no edges going out, make it as 0 again. From 7 there is an edge to 8, so no other. From 8 no edges are going out. So this will be the adjacency matrix for your given graph. Now coming back, in order to do your BFS we need a Q operation, so Q will be used for that. So this is my Q. So this is your adjacency matrix. Since it is a Q operation, so as you know Q contains two variables, front and rear. Initialization is made as front equal to 0 and rear as -1 to indicate that the Q is empty. So F is at the position 0. Now we are going to enter the source vertex from where you want to actually start your breadth-first search. Let us say I want to start from the node 1. So 1 is my source. So this is going to be the source. From here we are going to do a breadth-first search. So first thing we need to do is we are going to insert the source into the queue. So when you are doing the insertion, so we are going to just write here. So q of ++ rear is given as source, that is source value 1 is inserted to the ++ rear position. So rear was actually -1. So when you increment rear it will become 0. So both front and rear will be pointing to the same location, and then you are going to insert the source. The source value is 1. Since you are done with the source, we are going to make visited of source as 1 to indicate that it has been visited. So visited is just to keep track of which of the nodes have been visited. So initially all of them were made as 0, as you can see here. Now we are just making them as 1. So we have 8 nodes, so all of them were actually 0. So now we have visited the source. Now we are looking at what are the vertices that can be reached by that particular node. So while front is less than or equal to rear, the condition is true because front and rear are still pointing to 0. So equal to condition will be true. U equals q of front ++. So what is q of front? So q of front is 1. So u will be 1. Front is then incremented, that is from this particular node. So we are going to go for the other nodes. So we are going to remove it from the particular queue. So what happens here is front will be incremented to the next location. Next, for I equal to 1, 1 is less than or equal to n, the condition will be true. So I is 1, 1 is less than or equal to n, n is nothing but 8 since we have 8 vertices. We are going to check if there is an edge between other nodes. Okay, so if u is also 1, as you remember, if a of 1 1 is equal to 1, so is a of 1 1 1, the condition fails. So you are going to check if there is an edge or not, and if it is visited or not. So since this itself fails, you don't have to worry about the next condition because it doesn't matter, because AND operation, if any one of them fails, the whole condition will be a fail. So u value is still 1. So I gets incremented to 2. Now 1 2. So is there an edge from 1 to 2? So you are going to check, is there an edge from 1 to 2? Yes, the condition there is an edge. Now you are checking if the node 2 has been visited. So if you see visited of 2, it is still 0, it has not been visited yet. So now what we will do is we will make an entry of the value I is 2 into the queue. 2 gets inserted by incrementing the rare. So rare is incremented, so R will be now pointing to 1, and then you are going to insert the value 2 in that particular position. We will make visited of I as 1, that is I is nothing but 2. Visited of I will become 1. So it was 0, now it has been visited, so we are making it as 1. We will print that particular value onto the screen. So 1 was already printed. So 1 was source node. Now you are going to print the value 2. Next your I value gets incremented to 3. So I value becomes 3. We will check if there is an edge from 1 to 3. So from 1 to 3 there is an edge. The condition is true. Has that particular node been visited? So now you look at visited of 3. As you can see, visited of 3 is 0. The condition is true. Since both the conditions are true, we will go to the next line, that is q of plus plus rare equal to I. So rare is getting incremented. So R will be incremented to the next location. So R will be now at the position 2. I am going to insert I. I value is nothing but 3. 3 is inserted into the queue. We are going to continue this and check what are the adjacent nodes. So when you go back, so I gets incremented. So before getting incremented, we are making the visited of 3 as 1. So since we have visited 3, the value becomes 1. Then we are printing it onto the screen. So event 3 is reachable. We are going to continue with I equal to 4. So when I equal to 4, we will check if 1 comma 4 there is an edge. Since there is an edge, what we are doing, we are just inserting the value into this particular queue by incrementing the value of rare, and we are going to continue this until we can visit all the nodes which are directly or immediately available from that particular queue, from that particular position 1. So as you can see, so from 1 we have now finished visiting all the nodes 2, 3 and 4. So after visiting these 3, we will look at any other nodes that can be visited from 1. Since all the other values will be 0, so nothing will be entered into your queue. Now when it is done, so front is less than or equal to rare, still condition is true. So it will take the value which is at the front. Q of front is now 2. So from 2 what are reachable, like that we are going to traverse. So from 2 what are reachable, 5 is reachable, 6 is also reachable. So 5 and 6 will be entered here. So this is how it is going to continue. So 5 and 6 will be entered from the node 2. So when 2 is done, we will look at the values which are reachable from 3 and so on. So this will keep on repeating until all the nodes can be visited. So whichever nodes are visited, that will be displayed onto the screen. So to know what all nodes are reachable from a particular node, we can use BFS method. Next one is your DFS method. So in case of your DFS, we will be using recursion. So for recursion you will be using your stack. So uses recursive function calls. So let us think of this as a stack. Let us take a look at the next option. So the next option is to check if the graph is connected or not by using DFS. So DFS is depth first search. So let us look at the function. So if the choice 3 is taken, so it will go to case 3 and execute this piece of code. So we are going to check if you can reach all the vertices in the particular graph or not. So let us start with the first one. We are initializing the count as 1. Now for each node we are going to check if you can reach all other nodes and see if it is connected or not. So starting with I equal to 1. So we are calling visited of, we are checking if visited of I equal to 0. So we had initialized all the array elements as 0. So initially it is going to be 0. The condition is true. So we are going to call a DFS function with the argument or parameter passed as 1. So DFS of 1. So let us write it here. when you go to your DFS function, so we can see here, so the source in this case is going to be 1, so because that is how we had called our function. So we are going to make visited of the source as 1, so this value is going to be changed as 1. Next, from the source we are going to see what all other nodes you can reach. So from 1 to 1 we are going to check from 1 to 1, 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 1 to 4. Okay, so one by one we are going to check if you can reach all the nodes. So from the source we are going to see if there is a edge from source to V. V is again 1, so from 1 to 1 there is no edge. You can see here it is 0, so the condition fails, so you are going to increment the value of V. So every time you are going any changes, in case of recursion or in case of any function call, the program uses a stack. Even though you are not explicitly using a stack or declaring a stack here, so we will be using a program stack. So in this case for DFS of 1, the variable value V was initialized to 1. Since V has failed, V gets incremented in this case and V value becomes 2. So V gets incremented, V becomes 2, source is still 1. So we are going to check if there is an edge from 1 to 2. So you can see A of 1, 2 is 1. So the condition is true because it is 1. You are checking if the node 2 has been visited or not. So as you can see it is 0 here. So that means that it has not been visited. So we are going to increment the count saying that we have visited one more node. So count will become 2. As you know, we had initialized the value of count as 1. Now the count value becomes 2. We are recursively calling the DFS function by passing the value of V. Now as you know, we had incremented the value of V. So right now the value of V would be 2. We are calling DFS of 2. So in case of recursion, every time a function call happens, an entry is made in your stack, so with the new parameter. So now the value of V is passed as a parameter for your DFS function. So coming back to your DFS function, so now the source becomes 2 instead of 1. Now we will check what all nodes I can reach from the node 2. So the source is now 2. We are going to make visited of 2 as 1, so indicate that we are visiting that particular node. So the value becomes 1. Next we are going to check are there any paths, what all nodes you can reach from the node 2. So the source now is 2, V is initialized to 1, so 2 comma 1. So in this iteration, this is a fresh iteration, so V is going to be again initialized from the beginning. So V is initialized to 1. You are checking if there is an edge from 2 to 1. So source is 2, 1. So if, as you can see, it is 0. The condition fails. You are going to increment the value of V. So when the value of V is incremented, it becomes 2. I am going to check if there is a path from 2 to 2. It is 0. Sorry, there is no edge from 2 to 2. So again, this condition fails. You are going to repeat by incrementing the value of V. V now becomes 3. So 2 and 3. So is there an edge? No. You are going to repeat the process with V equal to 4. Now when you come for 2 to 4, again there is no edge. So this gets failed. So if condition does not get executed when the iteration is for 2. Now when this happens, you are completed with the DFS function for this particular iteration. So once an iteration is completed, it is going to be removed from the stack. So you are going to come back to the previous iteration and continue with the previous iteration. So the previous iteration was when you were executing for DFS of 1. You had stopped at V equal to 2. Now with V equal to 2, what all vertices could be reached, all that was handled. Now we are going to come back and check what all you can reach from DFS of 1. So as you can see in this picture, from 2 there are no nodes going out. So there is nothing you can go forward to. So you have to move back and check for the other nodes which you can reach from 1. So when you go for the other nodes, so you are going to continue with the iteration where you had stopped. So you had stopped at v equal to 2. Now v equal to 2 is done. So the source would have been DFS of 1. You can see that the value what was passed as a parameter, that would be the source. So the source would be now 1. From 1 you are going to check other nodes. So v iteration 2 is done. So v gets incremented to 3 now. So the value of v in this iteration gets incremented to 3. You are going to check if there is an edge from 1 to 3. So as you can see, there is an edge from 1 to 3. So that condition is true. So you will check if that particular node has been visited or not. So if you look at 3, you can see that it is visited of 3 is 0 because it has not been visited yet. So the value is 0. So we will now actually go and visit it. So let it be 0 for now. So this condition is true. We are going to increment the value of count. So the count becomes 3. That is, this is the third node you are able to visit. Now you are going to call DFS with the value of v passed to it. So now DFS gets called again. So every time a function call happens, an entry is made in your stack. The value passed for v is now 3. Since it is recursive, so you are going to repeat this process. Now the source is going to be 3 because we are calling DFS of 3 again. So we are going to call the same function but by passing the parameter as 3. So now the source becomes 3. I am going to check from 3, can I actually visit other nodes, any other nodes. So we are going to visit the node 3 first. So visited of 3 was actually 0. Now it is going to be changed to 1. Next, from 3 what all nodes you can reach. So that is what you are going to check in this particular for loop. So source is 3. So v is again starting from 1. So v is now 1. Now is there an edge from 3 to 1? It is 0. The condition fails. Again v is incremented to 2. Now is there an edge from 3 to 2? So it is there. So this condition is true. Now we will check if this particular v has been visited or not. The node has already been visited, so you are not going to be visiting again. So you are going to continue. So this condition fails and you are going to increment the value of v again. So v becomes 3. Now 3 to 3, is there an edge from 3 to 3? No, the condition fails. So you are going to repeat and increment the value of v again. So v becomes 4. Is there an edge from 3 to 4? No, the condition fails. So since you have checked all the nodes possible from this particular node, so this iteration is completed and you are going to go back to the previous iteration. So since you are done, so you are going to pop the entry for this particular iteration from the stack and continue with the next value. So as you can see, in the previous iteration from where we had called this, so you are going to continue again. So you can see here that v was 3. So for DFS of 3, we have completed all the work that needs to be done. So v needs to be again incremented. So v becomes 4. Now in this case, the source is 1. As you remember, whatever was passed to the DFS, that would be the value of the source. So source value is 1. Now from 1 you are going to check, can I actually visit the node 4. So from 1 you are going to check, can I move to 4. So when you check this, it means that it is 0. So this condition fails. You will not be able to reach to node 4 from node 1. So there is no edge. So this condition fails. So since you are done with this particular iteration, even this thing will be popped. Now go back to your program from where the DFS function got called. So we will go back to the main function. So if you remember, we had only called from the for loop by passing the value of DFS as 1. Now you are going to increment the value of I in your for loop. So I gets incremented. So I becomes 2. If visited of 2 equal to 0. So you will check if visited of 2 equal to 0. So as you can see, we had actually visited the node 2 previously. So that condition fails. So now you will increment the value of I one more time. So I becomes 3 in this case. So now check if visited of 3 equal to 0. So visited of 3. So it is again false because visited of 3 is 1. So the condition fails again. So you are going to continue with the for loop and increment the value of I once more. So I now becomes 4. Now check if visited of I equal to 0. So visited of 4. So visited of 4 is 0 because it was not visited at all. So you are going to call DFS function with 4. So you are going to go to DFS of 4. So an entry will be made in your stack with the value 4. So let us go to the DFS function again. Now the source becomes 4. You are going to continue. So we are going to say we are going to visit the source 4. So we are going to make visited of source as 4, and now you are going to check. So visited of 4 equal to 1. Next is from 4 what all nodes I can reach. You are going to check that now. So source is 4. So we will start with 4 comma 1. So 4 1. So the node is the edge is 0. The value is 0. So you cannot reach 1 from 4. There is no edge. You are going to continue. V value gets incremented to 2. Is there an edge? Yes. So from 4 to 2 you can actually come. So what happens when you go from 4 to 2? The condition is true. Now have you visited 2 already? So you can see that it has already been visited. So this condition is false and this particular code will not be executed. You are going to increment the value of V one more time. So it becomes 3. 4 to 3 it is 0. So you can see it is 0. The condition fails. Next one is you are going to check for 4 4. There is no edge from 4 to 4. You have visited all the nodes, but you can actually not reach everything from the node 1. So you can actually reach from 1 to 2, 1 to 3, and that's it. You cannot actually go and reach 4. So it is going to simply display these 3, and 4 is not actually, you are not able to reach 4 from 1. So it will say that this particular graph is not connected. So only if you can reach all the nodes, only that way from a source node, if you can reach all the nodes, that way it is said to be connected. Otherwise it is said to be not connected. So I hope you got the DFS function. So thank you.